Hi scrappy friends, welcome to the SpiegelMom Scraps design team. Today I am going to be scrap lifting because this whole month we are going to be scrap lifting a whole bunch of our fave people in the scrapbooking community, and this week we are going to be scrap lifting Katty Miranda. So Katty is a fellow SpiegelMom Scraps design team member who is not on the design team anymore. She was last year, and I have been friends with Katty for a very long time. I remember when she first started out on YouTube, and I met her through a design team that she was trying to apply to and didn't get in when the first design team call went in, but that's when I met her, and that's when she started doing videos, and since then we've become really good friends. So I had a really fun time doing this scrap lift because we are so close, and I love her style. It's always nice and fun and colorful, and she's not afraid to play with media and just get a little messy. So I am using the layout that you've seen at the beginning, and I actually messaged my friend Katty because we talk from time to time, and I had no idea what layout I was going to do because she has so many good ones. And so I thought, wouldn't it be really fun if I asked her to pick one of her favorite layouts, and then I could scrap lift that. So she gave me a couple that she really loved, and I picked that one with the sunburst, and it's just nice and fun and colorful. So now you are seeing me create this. So what I did, as you can see, I'm using my palette knife mostly to apply the different media forms, and I'm mostly using Dazzlerz and Pasteez. So I took quite a bit of the salt to the earth, and I mixed that with some Acritonez, because salt to the earth is very translucent and you can see through it when it dries. So, and it takes on a lot of different color that like if you use a different color, it'll show up in there. So I decided to add quite a bit of the Acritonez, and I used the Jade color, and I also mix some of the blue Dazzlerz with modeling paste. That's what I'm doing right now. But I also added like I tried to get like a mint color with the modeling paste and Acritonez, and then I see you in the morning Dazzlerz. And what else did I use? I feel like there was one other thing that I used, but I used some of the different sprays. So I used Jeni Blue with the salt to the earth, and then I also used some of the Keep Palm with the different modeling paste and stuff, so that I could just get different colors of blues and greens, because I'm not really sure exactly what is going to happen, but I figured I'd probably use something tropical, because why not, right? So I felt like it needed something else, and on hers, when I looked back at it later, I seen some bigger splatters. So but I did this before I noticed that. So I decided what I would do is take some of the different colors of the sprays. So I have some of the pink stilettos. There's a blue one that I used, and I want to say I used some of the creamies. There's a purple one that I used. This isn't in the store, but I used it from Shimmerz, and it's Paradise Punch, and that's a nice purple. And I did add a little bit of the Prima watercolors too. And so I got this nice purple and blue and pink just splatters. And I like to use my paintbrush and just kind of touch the splatters a little so it spreads them out. And like I'll leave some whole and then I'll spread some of them out. So that's what you've seen me do not too long ago. So now I'm going to work on the layers and the photo. Katty used a circle photo and I thought about using a circle photo. I really did. And I tried it and it didn't work. So I had to reprint my photo. And I'm not using a circle. It just didn't work out in my favor, and that's okay. And sometimes that happens. But I did use one of the Glassine bags from the store. There's these little turquoise, or the blue ones with the dots are so pretty. I don't know if they're still in there, but if whatever I use, I'll make sure I link to. If it's still in the store. And the gold doily is from the store. And I'm going to use those to help build. So the bag, I just, around the edges, just use my adhesive. So I'm going to be able to tuck that picture in, or that tag in there. And I wanted to kind of move, even though I'm not going to do any journaling on it. So I guess I could have just taped it in there too, right? But no. And right now I'm just looking for a few different papers from the 6x6 pad of the Oasis collection, and that's what I'm using. This is a photo of my daughter a couple of years ago when we were at the beach and she was playing and kicking and the water's coming up, and it's just a really fun picture. And I really like how the blue looks like water spraying up, so it works really well. And I'm just going to kind of build a couple of layers, and then I'm going to put it on that tag and then stick the tag in the bag. The tag actually went inside the bag, and then the layers, you'll see it on the next to the tag, but it's not quite in the same spot. And I kind of like how it moves around a little bit on my page. It's not perfect, and that's kind of what I wanted, but I did take my tiny attacher and that twine that is also from the store. I'm going to adhere, and then I'm going to add that chipboard. And one of the things that I like about this layout, besides that it's super simple, and I definitely made it so much more complicated, but that's just me and I can't help it, was that there was a lot of like small elements, but just a few little things all the way around that circle, or like the sunburst. And one of the other things that I liked is that in the title she used like more blocky letters so that it really stands out. And I'm going to do something similar by using that stamp from the Oasis collection, and I stamped it on that dot paper that's like a craft, and I'm going to use that in my title in a little while. But right now I'm just kind of working on some layers. I had some of those like fern leaf pattern from the last layout that I did, from the cut file, the inside of the cut file that I used for the Cat Benjamin scrap lift. So I'm going to use some of these as my layering. One of the things that I liked on the circle that Katty did is she used a whole lot of flowers just right around that side of the circle, and so it really stands out. And I'm going to kind of play around where I want my title. That I'm going to use that Let's Go as part of my title, but I'm not sure exactly where else I want it. So I'm just going to work on some other stuff, look at some other pieces. I know I looked at a lot of the ephemera pieces to see what I could use for layering, but I don't end up using quite as much as I thought I would, because I really was so trying to keep this simple. It was really, really hard. I really wanted to use that pineapple, and I end up not using it, but I'm going to pull it back in a little while. And I do like it underneath on that side, it ended up feeling like it was way too much. So I seen these alphas in my alpha stash, and they're painted on half, and then they have the gold on the other half. And the colors were really beachy. I really like that Let's Go there. I don't leave it there. And I actually play around with that fern quite a bit, or that leaf, palm leaf, that really is what it is. And I kind of liked it where I had it in another place, but that's okay. So I thought about putting the catch over there, and I'm going to end up moving it pretty much where Katty had hers. Just my photo is a little bit, my circle is a little bit off, and it's bigger than I think hers was, but that's okay, because this is the fun part about scraplifting, right? It doesn't have to be perfect. So my title is going to read, Let's Go Catch Waves. And I am going to use that little sunshine piece. I use a few of these like stickers and whatnot. I really play around with it because I wanted to have some nice fun layering elements, and I wanted to add some of these pieces that Katty had. She had the pieces just around the sunburst section. Oh, there's my husband. He was helping me because I got them stuck, because of course I had to put it there on my desk. I should have known better than to stick a sticky sticker on my desk. And it's hot, so of course it was going to stick. But I just scattered those throughout, and I'm going to move them around because I don't like all of them exactly where they are. I did use a tiny attacher on the first part of waves, and then I used some puffy dimensional adhesive underneath the other part of waves for that sticker. And I am going to end up using some dimensional underneath Let's Go too, just to kind of help it, because it was lifting off, and actually it's lifting off still even more. So I'm probably going to have to put more glue underneath, because even though I want there to be a lot of dimension and a lot of layers and stuff, I do not want my photo to completely come off of that circle. And then I'm going to add these. I really like the gold. I liked adding the gold just in some touches around. And I'm going to end up going back later and using a pen to outline all of these triangles just to make them pop. I know I didn't need to do that, but I really felt like they needed something to just kind of pop a little bit. And so, yeah. I thought about doing fake stitching around it, but I ended up not doing that. Though that would have helped look a little bit more like Katty's layout, but that's okay. But I really like how this turned out. It was super, super fun. So don't forget to go and check out all of the products that I used. I used so many products. Oh yeah, and then I ended up adding sequins, and I used, what did I use? I should know what I used. Oh, Sparkle Power. So I ended up using Sparkle Power sequins, and I'm just going to randomly put them over. And I'm not sure if I show this off screen or not, but I end up moving some of the chipboard and stuff off because I just felt like it was a little too much. And I really didn't want to take away from this layout because it's just so nice and fun. So as you can see, I am just putting adhesive around, and then I'm going to go back and I'm going to add my sequins to those little dots of where I put it around. This is one way that I just it helps me be a little bit more random. Yeah, see there, I took it off. So yes, don't forget to check out the links below. Use my code and you can get get a discount in the store. And don't forget to check out the blog, because the ladies are on the blog team are also going to be scraplifting Katty this week too. And I hope you guys are enjoying us play around and scrap lifting. And if you have ideas for who you would like us to scrap lift, leave a message down below, leave a comment down below, and let me know who you guys want to see us scrap lift. And I will see you guys later, and I hope you have a great scrappy week. Bye!